Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the weather. Yeah, that's right. The reason I'm bringing up the weather is because, well, I ain't got nothing else to talk about, so we're talking about the weather. No. Honestly, it's because we're going through a cold front right now, and a lot of us are freezing to death out here. You know, a lot of us that are, you know, not used to this, you know, 70-degree weather. What is this? It's crazy. But the reality is that, yeah, like we had, like, we know we're going through a little bit of a cold snap, a cold front. We're about to embark on another one. I think it's early December. It feels so nice, so beautiful, so chill, so relaxed. And so, yeah, you know what I mean? I apologize for the noise at the moment. You know what I mean? We're just walking through the neighborhood. You know, people work out of their homes out here. You already know how it is. You know, anything can be a business. In fact, that's a great topic for another day and another episode. But yeah, you know what I mean? So we're gonna be talking about the weather because right now, you know, the weather at this moment is somewhere between, you know, 75 degrees, give or take. So it's very nice. It's very nice. It has all the animals excited. All the dogs in the neighborhood are all excited as well, as you guys can tell. Everybody wants to say something to the camera. Anyways, so, you know, right now it's December 1st, okay? And December 2nd, 3rd, you know, like early December. And the weather is crazy nice. In fact, it's so cold, it's to the point where it's like, it's a little ridiculous, you know what I mean? So, and what do I mean by that? Well, the thing is that, like, out here, because the environment's a little different than in other places, when it gets cold, you know, when there's like a little cold front, cold snap, it stays here longer. It's in the rocks. It's in the, you know, basically here. It's in the you know, the dirt, the rocks, you know, the everything that forms this city. Like, in the sense of, like, okay, so when they say don't drink the water out here, it's because all the water is naturally filtered through you know, all the rock formations. I don't know what it is. I have no idea, you know what I mean, if it's limestone or this or that. I'm just here to tell you about these things, you know, not be exact on, anyways. But the point is that almost everything is also built off that rock, okay? And that's what you see, a lot of things that are just like, you see rocks, they're just crumbling all over the place because everything is built out of that rock. What I forgot to mention is the fact that all those rocks and minerals literally get in the water, and so the water has a high mineral, heavy mineral content, so it's just not good for you, for your kidneys, and for, you know, all your other filtration system in your body. So it's not that it's bad with microbes and other things like that, it's just that it's bad in the sense that, you know, too much minerals and all that stuff in your body, you know, will give you kidney stones, things like that. So that's why drink and cook with filtered water. So because of that, you know, that rock also, you know, maintains, it's like a good insulator. So when it gets cold, it stays cold. And so, you know, as opposed to like when I lived in South Florida, when we just got a little cold and then bam, sun came out and bye, you know, because, you know, the reason was that, like, you know, we're living in a swamp, you know, so it was just hot and humid, and even if a little cold front came through, it didn't matter. Or when I lived in LA, you know what I mean? Again, this would be the weather in, you know, late June, early July, you know, and this weather, you know, this weather is, you know, borderline freezing for a lot of people. And so that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like, you know, why was, you know, LA that way? Because it was in the middle of a desert. So here, there's all this stone everywhere, and that stone is what keeps it cold. So right now, you know, I know a lot of people, because I talk to a lot of friends and family out, and I tell them, hey, you know what the weather is? And they're like, yeah, it's cold, but it's like, come on, man, come on, it's 70 degrees. Or like at night, you know, like at nighttime, it dipped to 65. And, you know, everyone out here is beyond freezing their ass off. And of course it can get lower. And of course, as you know, it might get a little lower, you know, as the winter goes on. We just started. But the point is that, you know, I have a bunch of friends out here that have recently come from cold weather climates, and even they were, you know, wearing their socks and getting all nice and cozy and drinking hot chocolate and you know, want, you know, soup and things like that. Why? Because again, you know, it gets colder than what the degree temperature thing really reads. So even though it might read a certain temperature, it's actually going to be a lot colder. And trust me, it is. You know what I mean? Like your nipples get hard. You know that? I mean, that's how cold it gets. I just wanted to say that. You know, it has nothing to do with anything. You know, but the point is that. The point is that. Yeah, you know what I mean? The weather out here is very nice. So I know a lot of you guys, you know, see a lot of my videos, you know, where I'm walking around and it's in the middle of the day and it's in the middle of you know, the summer or a really hot, you know, part of the year, and you see me walking around sweating, and you're like, man, is it hot that year? Is it like that all year round? That sounds unbearable. And then you don't only see me sweating, but you see so many other people sweating, and it's like, well, yeah, it gets hot out here, you know what I mean? Just like in any other, you know, tropical weather climate place, you know what I mean? I mean, come on, that is, you know, when people complain about the heat out here, or the weather, like in the heat, I was like, bro, you do understand this is a tropical weather climate, tropical paradise type of climate. What else is it supposed to be? You know? I mean, so anyways, but the thing is that, like, you know, what this video is about is to talk about, you know, the whole weather situation here. So, you know, with that being said, you know, it isn't hot all year round, which is awesome, because at the very least, you get to cool down for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like right now. You know, I just got home and I realized, I forgot to tell you something. I just got out of the shower and I realized, you know, back home, most people have a water heater. Out here, water heaters are optional. But in days like today, in which it's freezing, or just on days in which it rains, and then your water on your rooftop gets cold, that's when you need a water heater. If you can't afford it, like, you know, some other Mexicans out here, what they end up doing is that they just heat up the water on the stove and take a shower or bath that way. But if you can afford it, which most of you guys can, get a water heater. Trust me, on days like this, you'll be very happy and glad that you have a really good, hot water heater. Look at this, I've been walking for 6 minutes and I'm definitely not sweating, you know what I mean? Like, maybe a little bit under my, you know, barely nothing. You know what I mean? It's nice and cool and chill and nice, you know what I mean? So like right now, the weather would be 75 degrees. It says like around 80. It's not 80. It's not 80 because I've been, look, this is how I know it's cold. Because I've been outside working in the yard doing laundry earlier today in the sun, trying to get heat, trying to get hot, and it still wouldn't be hot. I'm not the only one either, you know what I mean? So that's how I know. I think it's a little colder than whatever the thing is reading, because I just, you know what I mean? Like, I just from experience from living in other places. So whatever the reason is, it gets cold, guys. The weather down here dips. You know what I mean? The weather down here does dip, okay, into, you know, again, the 70s, the low, you know, the mid to low 60s. It stays cold for a while. You know, right now people are expecting it to get colder, or at the very least remain the same. So, you know, that's good, you know, because like a lot of people now, you know, depending on what you're coming down here for, like if you're coming from a cold weather, you know, snowy climate, you're coming down here and this is nice weather. It's definitely an improvement, you know, to, you know, coming from I don't know, Saskatchewan or whatever, you know what I mean? Somewhere up in the Great White North or whatever. Anywhere you're coming from that's cold and snowy, you know, Minnesota, you know, whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, but the point I'm making is that if you're coming from a more hot weather climate, and maybe, you know what I mean, it's like, again, it's cool, but I don't want to go to the beach. I don't want to have a beer, you know what I mean, in this weather. Not me personally, you know what I mean? Because I only drink beer when it's nice and hot. And so again, for me personally, I love living out here because it's nice and hot a good majority of the year. But when we get to, you know, fall, winter time, especially during winter, yeah, man, it definitely cools down a lot. And as we get into spring, it starts warming up, and by the time we hit summer, we're full blazing. And that's like the best time to go to the beach and go to the, you know what I mean? So I don't know, you know what I mean? To me, anyone that complains about the climate out here, like, I get it, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people prefer colder climates and other climates, you know, but I lived a lot of places around, you know, the US and shit, and man, this is awesome. You know, the weather here is perfect. You know, right now we got San Diego weather, guys, you know what I mean, for anyone out there, you know. And what is San Diego weather? You know, just 75 degrees, you know, nice little breeze, not too hot, not too cold. You know, you wear your shorts, nice t-shirt, you know, you're good to go. So to me, this is like really beautiful, perfect weather. I love hot and sweating. So through like, I don't know, 75% of the year, you know, 75% of the year out here, I'm sweating to the oldies, that's for sure. You know, don't even get it twisted. But when it comes to like that nice 25% of the year, it's nice and cool. You know, the weather starts to nice and cool down and gets like cold. You know what I mean? Again, to the point where it can get a little uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, you know, it's not going to last much, you know, maybe a couple days, maybe a few weeks, you know what I mean? And then by the end of the day, boom, you know, the sun comes out. And if you really want to, you know, you can really go out and get some sun, and you know, it'll definitely negate a lot of the weather situation. You know what I mean? You know, negate the coldness. Okay, so if you spend a little bit more time outdoors, you'll be fine. But yeah, guys, you know, at the end of the day, it does get cold out here during the winter. And again, it's not freezing cold. I know there's a lot of people out there. That come from all kinds of different, you know, places and all kinds of different weather. But you know, just to gauge, you know what I mean? Like I said, you know, like in centigrade, it's like somewhere between 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, that's where we're at now. Probably 22 right now. You know what I mean? And in Fahrenheit, it's like around 75 degrees. You know, we went as high as 80 degrees, didn't feel like 80. We're like, you know, somewhere in the 75 degree range now, and dipping. And now we're dipping. It's like 4 o'clock, okay? So it's 4 o'clock right now and it's dipping. So yeah, you know what I mean? Like the weather out here is very nice, man. You know, to me, I love it. You know what I mean? It's like one of the benefits of living out here. Because again, you know, we're really close to the beach. The air conditioner, you know, you don't really need it all day long. Is some, you know, again, if you live in the desert, if you live in the swamp, you need that AC 24 hours a day. Out here, it's hot, but it's not so hot where you need it all day. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people that live out here that get used to it after a while, and they don't use the AC all day. You know what I mean? Like they just don't. You know what I mean? They're totally fine, you know, just being under the shade, getting a fan or two. And that's plenty. And then the AC only comes at night when you're sleeping. And like right now, that's another benefit. You know what I mean? I'm not using the AC. The only thing I use is a fan at night. I still use a little bit of a fan. I like to sleep really cold. But the fan isn't really doing much except just moving the air around. And again, that for Christian, she's dying. She's like, bro, this is fucking freezing in here. But it's not really a big deal, you know what I mean? Like it's, you know, it's not as bad, you know what I mean? Sometimes I have the AC colder, you know, than how it is right now. So, you know, at the end of the day, that's another benefit. You get to sleep with your windows open. You know, you get to have a nice little fan on. If that, you don't really need the fan. And that's it, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you get to, you know, what is it, like you get to reap the benefits, you know, of all year round awesome weather. Like I said, you know, during the summer, you know, it's beach weather. You're right by the beach. You already know that you can take the bus to the beach. Okay, it's like $1.50 to take the bus to the beach, and $1.50 to take the bus back. It drops you off right at the beach. Or you can take an Uber. I think I want to say like 15-20 bucks if you want to, you know, ball and spend it, you know what I mean? But most people don't do that. Or you can just drive up there, you know what I mean? From El Centro is like 45 minutes from where I am, maybe 30 minutes, you know, 45 minutes. Again, still not, and that's with traffic and all this other crap, you know, not really that far. I lived in Miami and I was 45 minutes to an hour from the beach, right? So, you know, just, you know, throwing it out there. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, there's a lot of benefits, you know, to the weather situation out here. Like I said, you know, normally this walk that I would take, I would be sweating, you know, and that's good. You know, sweating is good. You know, going out and getting that vitamin D is good. You know, all that stuff is really, 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 really good for you. And out here you get to live a really healthy lifestyle for a lot of reasons, okay? It's too many reasons. You know what I mean? In fact, there's so many reasons. That's why I'm here making all kinds of videos, you know, talking about all the different reasons. All right, as to why it's so awesome out here. The weather being one of them. Again, not for everybody, but definitely for me, you know what I mean? You know, definitely for me, you know, one of the main reasons I enjoy being out here so much. So, anyways, I think that's it, guys. You know, I'm gonna keep this one real short. We're gonna do a little experiment on that. I don't think we got much else to talk about when it comes to the weather. I'm sure you guys can think of a bunch of things, but I think that's it. I'm approaching, you know, the grocery store. You know, I'm gonna pick up a few things, and then I'm gonna head out, you know, and see if I can record another video. So you already know the deal. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit that bell icon. But more importantly than anything else, please stay awesome. I really hope you enjoy this today, talking about the weather. You know what I mean? Again, I really wanted to make this video because I get a lot of comments, you know, to please talk about this. So I'm talking about it, all right? And that's it. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks again for watching. Bye.